Hi everyone, it's Willis, Kiwi Scrapper from New Zealand, and I'm here today to show you some work I've been doing, and it's not crafting. Well, it involves crafting, of course, but well, it's for crafting. These are all these luscious looking things, laces and trims here, and they're all in a variety of different shades of pink, and these have been dyed by an avocado, or avocado dyeing. Now most of you, or many of you, will know how to do this, and this isn't, I'm not the first one to put up a video explaining how to do this, but I might have some people on my channel who are relative newbies, newcomers to crafting, and may not know that you can dye your beautiful trims and give them a whole new lease of life for other projects by dyeing them various shades of pinks with avocados. Okay, now first of all I'm going to explain to you what you need to do. You need to choose avocados that are really dark skinned, not the green skinned ones, but the ones with the really dark red purplish skins. The darker the better. And I was very fortunate because I was looking in the supermarkets for a couple of weeks now, and we're in spring here, towards the end of spring, and all I could see was these bright green avocados, and I was like getting quite impatient because I wanted to do some avocado staining for projects. And then we went over to the city of Whanganui, which is about a 30-minute drive from where we live, last week, or the end of, right at the end of last week, and we popped into a shop that's an Indian shop that sold spices and stuff like that. We'd never been into it before, and just as I was cruising around the aisles, I suddenly spotted a box full of avocados, and they were the deepest purplish colour. They weren't very big, but they were this wonderful dark purple colour, and they were four for $1, which is ridiculous because in the supermarkets they're $1.99 each. So admittedly a little bit bigger, but these were just perfect for what I wanted. So I snatched up $1's worth, 4 of them, and marched up to the counter, and along with some other stuff we bought them. And so I've embarked upon some avocado dyeing, which you see here. Now what you do first is you cut the avocado in half as you normally would do. You scoop all the stone and the pip and all the flesh out of the avocado. Now my husband and I both love avocados, so we eat the flesh. But wash over your stone so that it gets all the bits of the flesh off it, and then scoop out your skin until it's really, hopefully, totally free or mostly free of the flesh. And then you put a big pot of water on to boil. Now I leave mine until it's really boiling, and then I pop the skins in, and you push them down until the half skin is full of water in it, so that the purplish red part is submerged in the water. So that because the whole idea is that you're going to get the colouring coming out of the skin and going into the water, so you need to have it submerged. And with this lot I actually included putting the stone in. I haven't done that before, but some people say that it's you can dye with the stone alone. I don't know, but anyway, I put the stone into the water. It actually split in half after boiling for a while, and inside the flesh became quite reddish. Now it takes quite a while of boiling. I just put the lid on, I turn the heat down a bit to the halfway mark, and I just let it boil. Obviously you're going to lose some liquid, but you don't want to put too much in, because the more liquid you've got, the less concentrated your colour is going to be. And that's okay if you want really, really pale pinks, but I like to have a variety of different tones. So it does take a while. You've just got to keep looking at it, and first of all the water sort of goes a murky, greeny, browny colour, and you think, ew, that's not very nice. But if you just leave it to boil, and you're doing other things in the room so it doesn't boil dry, and just keep checking on it, and eventually you'll notice that the water becomes a lovely pink colour. Now this could take up to 20 minutes or even half an hour, depending on how hard you're boiling it. If you're just simmering it, it's going to take longer, obviously. So once it's reached that stage of being nice and pink, then I take the skin and the stones out, and then I start putting my laces in. I'm very impatient. I pile my laces in and prod them down, and I just keep turning them. But anyway, depending on how long you keep your laces and your trims in, that's the depth of colour you'll get. Now, for example, and let me tell you that some trims will not take the colour at all. They'll come out looking like they went in. Other trims will take the colour slightly, but you know, they'll be very, very pale. So I have an example here. It's cream. See, it's cream. I put this in like this, and it came out like this after boiling. Now you leave them. Immediately you've put your laces in, you turn it off the boil. You don't want it boiling anymore. You just let it. I actually take it off the heat, but I suppose you could leave it on the heat if you wanted to. I just take it off, and then you just leave it, and it can take overnight to get a real good colour that you want. But what I do is I keep checking it. I do it in the morning so that I've got the whole day to check and the whole evening to check. And then some laces I will leave in overnight if I want them a deeper colour. These are perfect for your vintage projects, just beautiful. And they're colours you can't actually buy these laces in. So as I said, this one, after keeping it in for, I think for about 8 hours, it didn't even change. So there you go. That one is one that will not take. Okay, I'm going to show you a variety of other colours, of other tones. This one is a beautiful tone. I mean, just look at that. Isn't that gorgeous? And this was this. Now you'll see the difference in the colour. Beautiful to use. These are great to use on your shabby projects, shabby chic projects. Look at that. Isn't that just glorious to use on your vintage projects? Absolutely beautiful. And I can't tell you how long I keep each of these in, because you know, you've got to keep looking at them. Now, I must tell you that I didn't use all 4 skins at once. I used 2. Because they were small, I used 2 avocados, and I did that, and the following day I did another batch of 2. So, let me find this one here. Okay. Can't find bits and pieces. You never find them when you're looking for them, can you? They're probably right in front of me. Okay. Now this one, this is a trim that went in, this colour. It's a real lemony cream. And I didn't know how it would turn out because it wasn't white to start with, but this is how it came out. And I really like that because that's great for vintage projects. So, oops, daisy, don't lose that one. So there's the difference. It's not a huge difference, but it's certainly, this one's pink, a vintage pink, and this one is the lemony cream. Okay, so I'll put that up there. This one here, this started off this lovely white colour, great for your shabby chic projects, and for your vintage projects this is what we got. And you'll see that there's a nice difference there. Well, I hope you will. I wonder if I sort of put that in, focus that in. Yeah, you definitely see. I'm sorry about the state of my hands. I've been out in the garden. So that's that. Just trying to get something. Oh yeah. Now this colour I just love. This one is beautiful. It started off as a gorgeous pearlized cream, and that's beautiful, and I can use that in my vintage projects as well. But this is what it turned into: a beautiful pearlized, old looking vintage pink. Isn't that just gorgeous? Look at that. Isn't that just beautiful? I love it. Just absolutely beautiful for your vintage projects. Just gorgeous. So, and it didn't take away the pearl. You've still got that lovely pearl glimmer in it, which I just love. Okay, what else have we got here? Right, this is a trim that's pure white, and this little lot here is how this was one, I think the first day. Oh no, this was the first day, and the second day I did another lot, and they are very slightly different. This one is more pinkish. Sorry, you got your original white. This one is the first day of dyeing I did, and that came out pink, you know, quite lovely pinkish colour. This was the second day. It came out, I left it longer, and it came out a bit more vintage looking, but it's kind of like subtle. You know what I mean? I'll kind of zoom in on that for you. You may not even pick up the differences. It's just, this one's just a very subtle difference to that one. And obviously very, because this one was left in longer. So I hope you can pick that up. You know, even an hour longer. I sometimes leave mine in overnight if they're not dark enough to what I want. Now this one was very stark white satin, and it hasn't taken amazingly, but it's taken off that real white glare and given it a faint vintagey pink look. So I was quite happy with that. The net didn't really do anything at all, not very much. If it did, it's really not that noticeable. Here's some beautiful organza that started off this white and went to this very delicate shade of pink. Not a lot of difference between those two, but there is a definite difference. You know, you've got your white here and then you've got your pink there. So again, great for your project, your vintage projects. Now this I love. This was a nice success. The beautiful trim here in white. I haven't used any of this, and this is the same trim in the beautiful vintage looking pink. Whoops, just doesn't want to sit on my hand. I've got to iron all these out. So there you go. Beautiful. Just lovely for those the shabby chic and then your vintage. It makes your lace trim go a lot further. Of course you can tea stain, you can coffee stain, you can actually, I've done some red cabbage staining and that comes out beautiful. You get lilacs and sometimes you get blues. Yes, now here you'll see the difference. This was sort of a very glary white like that, and now you can see it's got that nice pinkish tone in it. Just lots of different things. This took a while. This was like a heavier sort of a crochet thing. This one has taken on a nice creamy look, a pinky creamish. And this was some fabric I took off an old blouse, and that's done beautifully. That was a stark white, and that's gone into a beautiful pink colour. There's your stark white to contrast. Yeah. So it's a really good way of bringing your laces into a whole different thing. You know, you can get them in a whole different colours. More beautiful pinks there. They all vary. You'll see this one I left in a bit longer, and you'll see how the colours vary there. Just coming out there a little bit. And again, there's the original white. So you can see against all of those, there's all those different, lovely different tones. This is another one. This was a very stark white, cheap looking lace, and it looks much nicer like this. Now this is another lovely one that I just think is gorgeous. I took this off a off a petticoat that I bought from a second-hand shop or a thrift shop for a couple of dollars, and there's the lovely pink. Isn't that just gorgeous? Oops, going the wrong way. So much difference in colour variation. This is a baby cap. It's a crochet baby cap. I picked it somewhere. Now that has gone quite dark, as you see. That's that was white, so here we'll put the white in contrast. You can see that one's really taken it very well. And we've got another one here. This was a cream colour, and that's gone, well, there's a cream there. So yeah. Now I have got a bit of this lovely lace here somewhere I coloured some of this, but do you think I can find it? Oh, now this was a stark white, really stark white like this. It's Shabalicious lace from Lily, Lineker's shop on Zibbet, and I used it a little bit as white. I just wanted to colour it a vintage pinky colour, and look at that. And I didn't have to keep that in very long. That went the colour within a couple of hours. Now sometimes you've got to wait 6 hours, 7 hours. Do not be discouraged. Don't think, oh my goodness,